this is, it is not a master teacher. Period. Many people I enlighten. Even some of your teachers on that list have contacted me. And they watch me. They know who I am. BBC knows who I am. The people that are in control of your minds know who I am. But it's okay. That's what the internet is for. It is to watch out for the second coming of the Christ. They know who I am. Only few will accept me. It has already been written in John chapter 1. The light becomes flesh. When the light becomes flesh, it comes into those that it made, and they knew it not. You wouldn't even know who Jesus was if the Christ was to return. You would not know what it seems like, because you think that the Christ was perfect.
All right, so evidently when we begin to look at certain individuals, right? Check this out. When you notice people got to reiterate who they are. See, if you're secure about who you are, you don't have to tell nobody. If you're secure in who you are as, you know, as a human being, as a person, you don't have to convince, tell. You don't have to do none of that. Who you are is going to speak for itself. The stature of the person, the man that you are, the woman that you are, all of that speaks for itself. You don't have to convince anybody of who you are. If you're confident in who you are, if you're confident in the things you did in life, that right there should tell the story in itself. You don't have to convince me who you are. Just be who you are. Let your light shine. Let things that you do display who you are. Let your actions be who you are. You don't have to convince people who you are. If he's the Christ, just be the Christ then. If that's who you are, be the Christ. Go save somebody. Go raise somebody from the dead. Go turn water into wine. Go turn water into wine. Go do things that Christ did if you are the Christ. You don't have to tell nobody. The miracles that you perform, people will go run and tell. That's how Christ did it. Any miracles that Christ did, people ran and told it. Anytime he cured somebody in the Bible, they ran and told the next town. So if that's who you are, why are you trying to convince us so hardly that that's who you are? If that's who you say you are, go do it. You record and you do everything else with the phone on YouTube. So won't you record yourself doing a miracle that nobody else can't do since you're the Christ? I mean, come on. Who you fooling? All I'm saying is it's offensive to me, somebody who believes in Christ, who believes in God, to come and come across something like this. You understand what I'm saying? And there's plenty of people who've been on here. Peace to Ashe Divine. Peace to Young Pharaoh, YP. I mean, there's plenty of people that have exposed and debunked anything you said. I'm just the icing on the top. I'm just adding my perspective from a believer's perspective. I'm just adding that on because as I see it, you have already condemned your own self. You have already made your bed. You're already lying in the bed that you made. And you got to be at your low, at the lowest point of I believe this is the lowest point of your life. It has to be. Because anybody that will portray to be some divinity or some divine, person, to take the traits and attributes of a divine person that you know that you're not, that you can never be, to try to do that? Come on, man. Who you fooling? It's crazy, man. It's sad that people these days do all of this for attention. That's all it is.
Perfect. Any divine being cannot be perfect. In order for you to be a divine being, you must go through the struggles of the people that you come to help. So you must be as fucked up as those people at one time. You must come through the struggle of those people to help them. You have to know them, know what they're going through experience, to be able to help them get out of that. And the only way you are able to help them get out of that is through knowledge of self. And I have done that. I have shown the so-called African American and everything in between how to come out of their lower selves and walk the righteous path. I have taught those lessons. In the last 2 years, the Christ has been here right before you, and you do not even know me. It's okay, it's already been written. Many people have caused others to stumble. That's been written as well in Matthew 18. It has already been written that they will cause you to stumble. But woe unto them. It is better that they have a large milestone wrapped around their neck and thrown into the deepest of sea than to cause one of God's children to stumble. You've watched me being crucified metaphysically. This is the second coming of Christ. The Christ is now available. It is a software that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess to, period. I just want you to know this. Let's make it plain and simple. Let's make it clear and crisp. None of you will make it out of the earth realm, yet you come through me, period. You will hear me come out the mouth of the dead. Pieces of me. Many false prophets claim to be me, but you know, if you tapped into me before, what I am and who I am. I am the way, the truth, and the light. The only way out of here, of this realm, is through me. You remember I told you that. Period. Log on, Melanation TV, YouTube, and it is what it is. There's no greater teacher than I. I love myself.
Is a nigga mad because his son is a transgender with titties? Is a nigga mad because his son is a transgender with titties?
We're going to be talking about sexuality. The video that was displayed about so-called me in the video, that's not me in the video. But I always say it is me because it doesn't matter if it was me or not. But I'm not gay. That's the fact of it. My sexual preference is a woman. That's not me in the in the little video. That's not me in the video. But you could believe it's me. But that's unimportant because I'm not here to defend my ego. But personally, let's make the facts known. I'm heterosexual. My preference is to be with a woman. Anybody that knows me know that. Number two, that's not me in the video. But it doesn't matter. It's bigger than my ego. It's bigger than the egos. It's about healing, psychological healing. So we must understand, why is it that the black community are homophobes? Why are we the most racist people on the planet? The most hateful people on the planet? What is the psychology behind our hate for?
All right, so check this out. First of all, it's not that the black community, it's not that we hate we hate people that lifestyles are different. You know, if you believe in something, right, and you believe in it wholeheartedly, and it goes contrary to what you believe in, the first thing you're going to do is defend that. You're going to defend it because that's what you believe in. So the Bible says, you know, if God lays out the blueprint of who he created and how he created us, then if you believe in that, that's what you go by. That's the guidelines. That's what you follow. But secondly, when you begin to start, you know, striking out against somebody else because of what they believe in, you have crossed the barriers. You've crossed the lines. So I can't be in the judgment seat judging somebody else for their lifestyle, because if that's what they choose to do, that's what they choose to do. When they make up their mind to do something, it's nothing you're going to do to change that. There's nothing you're going to do to change somebody's mind once they have made it up to follow after somebody. That's period, point blank. Or if they choose to do an act, it's nothing you can do. You can't change that. If they choose to do something, whether it's be with a man, woman with woman, man with man, nothing you can do that's going to change the behavior in their mind unless they're ready to do it. So it's not that anybody in the black community has are homophobes or has problem with gay people. That has nothing to do with it, bro. You're misleading people and trying to turn people against each other and trying to... No, that's all confusing. What people do in their household and with the people they're doing it with, that's their business. But if you believe in God and believe that man shouldn't be with man and women shouldn't be with women, and you stand on that, you can't say that we have hatred in our heart. Black people in the black community have hatred. No, you can't say that. Because if that's something, if that's a principle we stand on, that's what we're standing on, a principle. That might not be our choice to do that. That's something we don't choose to co-sign. Okay, that's fine. But we're entitled to have that. As people, we're entitled to have our own belief. We're entitled to believe and see and respond to do anything that we choose to do. We're entitled to that. So for you to use an excuse like that, poor excuse. Come again. Come again, man. But, I mean, somebody in your shoes, I guess you would use that.
Homosexuality. Listen very clear. Listen. Empty your cup and listen. People will tell you in the black community that homosexuality came from the Caucasian. This is bullshit. Homosexuality has been around way before Caucasians. Matter of fact, nature shows us that. All you have to do is look into nature and you will see homosexual acts all throughout nature, meaning that it's a natural thing.
Let me tell you something about me being gay. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Be real with y'all right now, man.
He's being real, y'all.
In that video, that was me, bro. That homosexual video.
And he mean that too.
The white dude.
Look at people's eyes when they talk.
Me, bro. Like, I'm gonna just tell you right now, it was me. You know? And that's just a part of my life where I was just doing anything, you know what I'm saying? It's wild shit. I was doing crazy.
He's being truthful right now.
So that was me in the homosexual video, man. Did y'all hear me? Did you want to clip that? Oh, he admitted it. That was me, bro.
Is a nigga mad because his son is a transgender with titties? Is a nigga mad because his son is a transgender with titties?
We're going to be talking about sexuality. The video that was displayed about so-called me in the video, that's not me in the video. But I always say it is me because it doesn't matter if it was me or not. But I'm not gay. That's the fact of it. My sexual preference is a woman. That's not me in the in the little video. That's not me in the video.
Let me tell you something about me being gay. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Be real with y'all right now, man. In that video,
You can guess anything.
All right, check this out. All right, so let me go on my rant. All right, I'm just about to get it real quick. Let me go on my rant. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in right now. Thank you. It's your boy Ace Corner Talk. I just wanted to say this one thing. In today's society, there's so many different diverse things going on. Think about it. There's a bunch of spirituality going on. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of different ways you can go with it. There's so many different opinions about people's lives and how they choose to live it. In the Bible talks about judging people. When the same message that you judge somebody, you'll be judged and all that. Okay, fine. That's what the Bible says. Since I believe in the word, okay, I'll go with it. What another person does and how they do it, it's none of my business. It's none of my business what somebody else does in their own household. As long as it doesn't involve children, as long as what they're doing is not hurting or harming a child, it's none of my business. You're grown. Do what you do. So, but when you begin to start striking out against people because they have a clear, definitive stance about what they believe, then you're crossing the lines. You're crossing the lines. You're crossing the lines. Now, whether you're confused about your sexuality, whether you like women, whether you like men, I can really care less about any of that. What I care about is the people. That's why I'm on here. I care about the people being confused. You understand what I'm saying? I care about people getting a clear understanding about certain things. I don't want people running around confused about their life, confused about whether God is real or not. that decision about whether God is real or not, they'll come into that. Christ, God, he'll introduce himself in some way to a person. If they believe, if they don't, the Bible says every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bow. Me personally, I had my own experience. So I can't be persuaded or confused about what I know I felt and experienced. It can't be duplicated. Now, with that being said, it's offensive that online they have a person like you just spitting this rhetoric, this foolishness, nonsense, you know, portraying to be this character, because that's all you are, is a character. I'm gonna come right at you. I don't know how these other people deal with it, but I'm gonna come at your character, your YouTube character. That's all you are. You just want attention. You just want to be in the limelight. You just want people to see you. That's all you are as a character. You on there, it's an honor to talk to me like you somebody because you've been through something, because you've been to jail, been there, done it, you've been to prison, so what? What's that? That's nothing, man. You talk as if you were some God, and that's not what you are. Matter of fact, you're a little lower than that. You understand what I'm saying? You're a little lower than the lowest. And the only reason why I'm saying that, and I'm giving you a credit, just a little bit of credit, because you just got the boldness to get on YouTube to do this type of stuff, and that's all I will give you. That's it. But as crazy as your mind is, and the way your logic and the way you think people should be subscribed to your channel. You think people should be subscribed to your movement just because you add nature in it, and you're saying you should go back to self, and you should be, let me tell you something, when it's your turn and when God calls your card, there's nothing you can do and there's nothing nature can do about it. When God calls you home or wherever your fate is going to be, you're gone. There's nothing you can do about that. So no matter how much nature you get, no matter how much understanding you get, it's all about preparing yourself for when it does happen. That's what this walk of life, that's what the experience is, that's what your trials and tribulations, that's what everything is about. It's preparing yourself for when it actually happens, because the inevitable will happen. You will die. Just like you born, you will die. So it's all about preparing yourself. Not about, oh, I'm the God that can do this and do that. Let me tell you something. I had a grandmother die at 96. I had a grandmother die at 105. Let me tell you something. They ate, they did what they want, they said what they wanted to say, and they lived a long life. They wasn't in no jungle. They wasn't swinging from trees, eating fruits and bananas. They wasn't doing none of that dumb stuff. None of that stuff. And I'm not coming against people eating healthy. Yeah, eat healthy, do yourself right. You understand? I just had my grandmother just passed last year, and 2 years ago, my other grandmother passed. Live long lives. So it has nothing to do with that nonsense you talking. You don't have to move to no jungle in order to sustain yourself, to be healthy, to live right, to please God. You don't have to do all that and live in a jungle or live somewhere in Mexico and all these different places. When God calls you, there's nothing you can do. When it's your time, it's your time. So you portraying that you have to do something else and be somewhere else to achieve something within, something that's lacking within, is foolishness. It's foolishness. You're secluded. You secluded yourself, secluded the few minions and the few crazy people that went with you, that decided they wanted to abandon their family and abandon everything they have to follow you. You did that in order to gain control. What other better way you can gain control other than secluding yourself and taking a bunch of people that believed you, maybe a handful of people that was able to be convinced of the dumb stuff you say? That's all. But there's nothing you doing and there's nothing you saying that it can contribute to help elevating somebody to receiving God. Nothing. Or receiving, because you say you're the God, but nothing. This madness got to stop, man. We got to stop supporting. We got to stop backing up. When people like this do this foolishness, We got to be aware and put a red flag out, a big awareness sign. We got to do something, man. I'm telling you, we have to stop this stuff, man. Jim Jones, he was able to convince all those people to follow him. And what was that? What was the ultimate fate with the people who followed Jim Jones? They drank the poisonous Kool-Aid and they died. And it's sad to say, our colored people was some of his largest followings. And you go back on YouTube and research some of that stuff and see the bodies laying on top of each other, the little kids piled up. All of that foolishness. They following somebody that they thought was God, that they thought had power, for their ultimate fate to be left in some dirt over drinking some Kool-Aid. And this just reminds me of the same thing this brother talks about, the way he operates, the way he does things. It just reminds me of the Jim Jones story. There's spiritual wickedness out here, man, that is lined up to get all of the gullible people, all of the people who is desperate to hear something to help them out of their situations. Desperate to hear somebody say something to relieve some of the turmoil and agony they're going through in their life. That's not the way. If you're hurting, if you got some pain somewhere, if you're feeling some kind of way, this is not the way that you're going to get, some comfort. Because that's not the way it comes. When God chooses to comfort you, it's going to first come through talking to you. When God want to comfort you, when God want to deal with your spirit, your soul, your man on the inside, he's going to comfort you first. That's why the Holy Spirit is called the Comforter. It's not going to come through you going to somebody in the jungle or listening to somebody in the woods and all this other rhetoric. It's not coming that way. And for anybody to adopt that or to adopt the things he says to be credible, you crazy. You crazy. I was in the barber shop getting the cut. Bop, bop. Got tightened up real good, right? And me and my barber was talking about, the saying, it takes a village to raise a family. So we got on talking about peace to everybody. Peace to Ann Stubbs. Peace to Megalodon 415. Always peace to Logic. Peace to you, brother. Peace to everybody that's subscribed to the channel. Everybody that's watching right now. This your boy Ace from Ace Corner Talk. Glad that you're in the building. All right, cool. So we was talking about it takes a village to raise a family, right? We was talking about how back in the day, when we did something when we was younger, we had the neighbors to get on us. We had neighbors telling our moms. We used to get a little roughed up by some of the neighbors that was close to them. Like, it was family oriented back in the day. On our blocks, you knew who the drunks was. You knew who the drug users was. You knew who this was. You knew who that was. But at the end of the day, they protected you. They told your mom. They told your grandmother. They made sure you was okay. Nowadays, it's so upside down. It's so backwards. You can do something right now, or you can say something to somebody about something you might have seen their child do, and the first thing they're going to do is curse you out. They're going to curse you out, try to fight you, pull a camera out to get it on YouTube. And you might be trying to save their child from getting harmed, but that's what it is today. That's how people are responding. That's how this world is. They can care less about their children's activities and about their own activities. They're just so buck wild out here now. It's just like, hey, everybody do what you want to do and say what you want to say. It doesn't matter. Nobody's accountable these days for what they say and what they do. It's just, you can say what you want, do what you want to do, and oh well, we're just supposed to accept it. But let me tell you something. Those consequences, those things that you do and say, that you feel and think that it ain't going to come back, or there ain't going to be something that's going to hold you accountable, or it will. And there is. And it's called karma. That thing comes back. You running your mouth talking, you toting guns, you doing all that. That karma comes back. It does. And all I'm saying, listen. I agree. I agree with you. Everybody that's watching right now, I'm agreeing with you. Life is hard. Nobody said life is going to be easy. Nobody said we're going to arrive to a greater place on this earth. Yeah, you're going to have your moments of clarity. Of course. It's life. You're going to have your moments of serenity, of peace, you're going to have all of those moments. Those moments will come. Some will come sooner than others. But at the end of the day, it's how you choose to either stay in something or you choose to get out of something. It's your choice. Whether you choose to stay in it, or whether you choose to get out of it. However long you choose to stay in your misery is how long you choose to stay in your misery. Whenever you choose the day you decide to get out of mental distress, that's on you. That's on you. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people crying wolf and crying about situations that they create when they know that in actuality, you don't have to create some of the things you create, some of the situations you create. You don't have to. You choose to. You choose to create some of these things. And when they don't work out the way you think so, then you blame everybody else. Be accountable for what you say and what you do and how you handle life. And watch how life starts to evolve. Life might not get easy, but you'll have more clarity as you go along. You understand what I'm saying? You'll have a little bit more clarity. You have a little bit more understanding about your life. I'm teaching people one thing and one thing only. Be accountable to who you are. If I could teach you anything, that's what I'll teach you. Be accountable for who you are as the individual. Don't worry about somebody here over here. Don't worry about somebody over there. Don't worry about none of that. Be accountable for who you are in your own skin. You understand what I'm saying? Be accountable for who you are in your own self. If you ever want to arrive to have some type of peace and clarity, be accountable for self. Because as you go along in life and you begin to start feeling the pressures of life and the pain of life, do trust me. Do trust me when I say this. Do trust me. It's going to cause you to respond, to react. It's going to cause you to lash out. It's going to cause you to do something when that pressure comes. You know the old saying, pressure busts pipes? It's going to cause you to move. But it depends on where you are in your mental when that pressure comes, when circumstances of life hit you, and how they hit you. As to what you're going to do. In the ultimate fate of what it is. In the position and the situation that you're in. Come on, follow me. I see things for what they are. Yes, I get hurt. Yes, I experience things that gets on my nerves. Yes, I'm in tune with who I am as an individual. Yes, I know what makes me tick. Yes, I know what makes me mad. Yes, I know what makes me happy. Yes, I know what gratifies me. I know all of these things. I'm in tune with myself that much to know that. Some people might not. But I know what makes me think, what makes me tick, what makes me get mad. That's a part of my journey. I had to learn those things. I had to learn what I like. I had to learn what I dislike. As I evolved in life, I had to learn that. But accountability allowed me to learn some things also. And with me saying accountability, you're going to be held accountable, whether you like it or not. You can't go out there and just start shooting people up and think that you're going to get away scot-free. You might not get away with it right then and there, but eventually you'll get it'll catch up to you. Whether karma will get you or whether your own mind will begin to eat at you. And you confess to it. How many of y'all know the story just came out not that long ago, a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, where the guy is in prison. He's like 78 years old, and he confessed to about 90 killings. He said he want to make it right and give the people closure for all of the killings of the females and males and whoever he killed, the 90 people that he killed. He wanted to get closure before he went to his deathbed. Now think about, he's 78 years old. Think about all those years of torment and turmoil that he was going through his mind for killing all those people. Not only up until the point that he's getting ready to die is when he started to want to have a clear conscience to say, hey, I want these people to have closure. I feel sorry for what I did. After he done killed 90 innocent victims. See, things like that. When you hear stories like that, you say, well, man, how can somebody do that? How can, it's the same thing as what this brother's doing. It's the same madness, just in a different way. He don't see the damage that he does. He don't see at the moment that he's doing all this, he don't see none of it being his fault. He don't see none of it being, it's his troubled past that he's allowing to dictate and rule his life. Just like this dude killing all these people. There had to be something in him that caused him to start on that journey, on that path of life to killing people. It had to be something to cause him to do that. And whatever this brother said, you know, and there's clips of him saying he was homosexual, he was being raped, he was forced to do things to other guys. Like all of this crazy madness stuff. And right now, the character he is and who he's portraying to be can only lead me to believe that he's tormented on a daily basis from all of the things he's been through in his past. So that's why he has to find an avenue out of what he's going through. He has to be somebody else. He has to be the Christ. The Christ who had no sin in him, was never defiled. He has to take on things and characters to kind of to relieve the torment he's going through. You see a sad individual being tormented. I feel sorry for him because he's tormented on a daily basis. He never got the help. He never got the help that he needed to correct some of the ills in his mind for what he'd been through at a young age. He never got that help. I've been through things in my life, but it ain't turned me into no killer. It ain't turned me into no pervert, messing with kids and little children. It didn't turn me into no habitual abuser. It didn't turn me into no drug addict. All of the things I experienced in life and been through, it didn't turn me into none of that. So why this individual chooses to use all of these things to mask and hide the pain that he really has in his heart? And I can tell you one thing. I gave my issues and problems that I had in the past. I gave it to God. I really committed that to God because it was too much for me to bear. You understand what I'm saying? That pain that I felt from past experiences, I had to give that to God. I couldn't hold on to that. It was too much. My human body and human mind could not hold on to that type of pain and that type of stuff I was experiencing when I was in my adolescence. Although I wasn't forced to do sexual acts on people, although nobody did sexual acts on me, still the very essence of somebody trying to do something or even trying to gain access at an innocent age to manipulate my mind and do things, that was enough. Because I know right from wrong. I know what was wrong. I know what ain't supposed to be. And I thank God that at a young age, he programmed that in me to know that I'm not supposed to be with a guy. I'm not supposed to, at a young age, God already developed my interest in wanting to be married and wanting to have a family. That was at a young age. You understand what I'm saying? I wanted that at 7 and 8 years old. I was talking about the family and having dogs and like that was where my mind was. But I thank God he had that in me at a young age. Because all of the attempts at trying to pull me in different directions. I mean, I had so many different experiences where people were trying to pull me into different religions. They were trying to pull me into homosexuality. It was so many different things they were trying to get me to be involved in. But I knew deep in my heart, that's not what God planned for me. That's not what God wanted for me. And I can see today that, thank God, that my mind was set. I knew what I wanted. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't confused about anything. So it wasn't hard for me to continue on a path that had me in the limelight in that. I got married. I have my kids. They're following after me. They're mini me's. My boys, I'm telling you, man, it's fun to watch them grow up. It's fun to watch my kids grow up. Because when I look at them, they're sheltered by me and his mother, by me and their mother. And I can see the process in work. I can see what I'm teaching them. I can see how I'm rearing them, how they're growing up to be who God is going to intend them to be. They don't have to worry about the things that I've worried about in my past. They don't have to worry about none of that. They don't have to worry about, you know, some of the, and I gave my testimony on some of the videos I was in, but there was a lot of things that at my age I shouldn't have been susceptible and open to see. There was things that I've experienced and been through that no young child should have experienced or seen. But since I've been through that, it's like God covered me all my life up until this point, not to be drawn away from what I felt was the real thing or what I felt that I should be doing in life. You understand what I'm saying? This is crazy when I see people, when they have so much potential to be great in what they do in life, to be awesome and great, but they try to mask it under something else. The only way you can be great and be flourishing in this life is by being yourself. Let me say that one more time. The only true way you can be great is by being yourself. You're never going to be great by taking on somebody else's life, taking on somebody else's truth, trying to be somebody else. You're never, because what you're doing is you're pretending to be somebody else. You're pretending, you're portraying, you're taking something somebody else created. You can't. There's no way. If you're ever going to be great, it's going to come through you being who you are. Let your greatness shine. Let who you are as an individual be the best it can be. And if that ain't good enough, you work to perfect who you are as an individual. Whatever that is. Whether you're trying to be a great humanitarian, whether you're trying to be a believer in God, Christian, or a Muslim, whatever it is you're trying to be, work on yourself to be that. Don't try to take somebody else's words. Don't try to take nobody else's lifestyle. Don't try to take nobody else's swag. Whatever it is, be yourself. You'll appreciate who you are as you grow when you be yourself and allow what you have done in life to be your own. You'll appreciate it when you get older. You'll start to experience what it is to be great. All of the great minds that have mentored, that have people that mentored them to be great. But the only way they could have been great is if they remained who they were. Look at the Malcolm X's, Martin Luther King's. They might have had mentors, but in order for us to identify who they were, they had to be who they was. And when I look at things like this, and I look at these videos, and I see people try so hard to take what somebody else built and use it as their own, it's a sad day. It's a sad day. And I'm encouraging anybody out there, if you in some type of distress, whether it's mental, physical, you know, whatever it is, that's the time you got to dig deep in your soul. Whatever your faith is, whether if you have one or not, whatever it is, you got to dig deep in your soul and believe that something can transpire to help you in that situation. You have to grab on to something. It has to be some hope for you. You just can't live life and not have a belief about whether life can change for the better. I'm going through things. And I already know that eventually I got to come out of it. It just can't be this way forever. It just can't be this way. There is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. But you can't get derailed by different things you hear people say, different actions. You can't get derailed. You got to stay focused. I want to say peace to everybody who subscribed to the channel. Peace to everybody who sees this video. Peace to all those who hit the thumbs up. I want to say peace to those who are surviving out here in these streets, whether you're in the hood, suburbs, wherever you at. I'm speaking to you right now. I say peace to you for standing, not falling victim to any cult, to anybody trying to persuade you to be something other than who God intended for you to be. Be who you are. Be strong. Be sober-minded. Be vigilant. Keep pursuing your dreams. Keep pursuing after the things you want. This YouTube stuff is going to fade away. These YouTube characters, their fate is already sealed. They're sealing their fate. They're sealing their fate because they're at the point of no return. Once you start dibbling, dabbling in God's business, that's a dangerous game, man. It's a dangerous game when you begin to take God's divine word and power and begin to start entangling it as if you know what you're doing. It's best to leave that stuff alone. Create your own madness. Leave God business alone. Because if anybody, and it would be crazy if they did, but say somebody truly believes in what you're saying, and you mislead them away from the path that God potentially has them on, the blood of that person is on your hands. God will charge you and hold you accountable for the blood of that person if you take them, or if you was able to some degree persuade them to back away from God or to leave God. That blood is in your hands and you will be held accountable for it. You understand what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody. I ain't going to stay long. I'm trying to get y'all back into the swing of things. I like to hear your comments. I want to know what you're thinking, what you're talking about. I want to know some feedback, because if this in some way affects you, if what he says affects you, if you know of this person, Nature Boy, and this is something that is disturbing you, thumbs down the video. Don't support it. Don't support the video. Leave a comment on his videos if it's enabled. But his madness will come to an end. Mark my words. The Bible says, don't deceive, God is not marked. What thou sowest, thou shalt reap. You can't mock God and mock Christ and think that there won't be consequences for doing that. Trust me, there are steep consequences. And in God's given time, when he feels like enough is enough, the consequences and the wrath of God will come crashing down. I don't wish nothing on nobody. I don't wish nothing on this brother. I really don't. It's sad that he's going through this torment in himself. That the devil is able to get his claws and his hooks intertwined in him so deeply that he has to, there's no other way to deal with life other than trying to be somebody else. Be a fictitious character. And he thinks by exposing who he is, or exposing that, you know, hey, I'm being vulnerable to you guys and I'm telling you all of my life story. He thinks that makes him somebody, or that is acceptable for him to be great or be godlike. That doesn't make you to be anything other than a fool. Just because you tell your business, all it lets me know is just how crazy that you can be. It just lets me know that your mindset and how far you will take things. That's all it lets me know. So I just say to everybody, man, keep your head up. Keep your minds elevated. Don't fall victim to the madness out here, man. There's plenty of people walking around doing crazy things, man, be aware. You know, the Bible says, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Be wise as a snake, harmless as a dove. Why do you think God used the snake? You understand where he says be wise? Because, you know, when a snake moves, he's strategic in his movement. You understand? Snakes are strategic in their movement. They're cunning. They're the way that they hunt, the way that they maneuver. It's all stealth-like. You understand? Snakes move so they won't be detected. And I'm going to tell you something. You know, watch yourself on these streets, man. It's so dangerous out here these days. You know? You don't know when your card is going to be pulled or when your fate or when you're going to be called to go. You just don't know. I pray that I have a long life. I pray that, you know, no harm comes to me. But I don't know. This might be the last time you see Ace. You never know. But I pray that the things in the life that I led will be enough for somebody to say, you know, say something good about me. I ain't perfect, got many flaws, but let me tell you something. I'm a good person at heart. You understand what I'm saying? I don't set out to do harm to somebody. I don't set out to do malicious things to hurt people. That's just not the way I'm programmed. I have a good heart. And I'm not just saying it because I want you to believe it. If you know me, you know how I roll and you know me. If you know me, you know me. You know the type of character I am and the type of person I am. You should know that. I have a great heart. But I'm not going to be misled by malicious people trying to persuade me out of who I am. It just ain't going to happen. And I advise any of you out here listening to me, don't let nobody persuade you to be something other than who God created you to be. Yes, you got your own mind, your own opinions, but when you're trying to convince me to come out of something, to join something else, that's when I got to be alarmed. That's when my antennas got to go up. That's when when everything got to line up. My mental, everything got to line up against what you're saying. Because somebody should not have, if it's the truth, you should not have to convince me. It should already resonate. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, his TV channel is called Divergent. It's called Carbonation. Carbonation TV. All right, Carbonation. Just type Nature Boy in YouTube and thousands of videos will pull up, thousands of people talking about him, thousands of things, and then you'll see that people really follow him and make comments approving of his behavior, approving of him. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I need y'all to just understand what I'm saying. I'm not making this video and joining the bandwagon of other people for views. I'm not doing this because I want people to hear what I'm saying. I'm doing this because it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. You feel me? It's very disturbing to me. And then when you started tying him that he's the Christ and all that, it's offensive to me. And me being a YouTuber that's on YouTube, I feel obligated to say something. I feel obligated. I feel obligated. I have to say something, man. It's so disturbing to me that people, you know, it is. It is. It is. And I'm a real dude. I'm a real person, man. I mean, I'm personable. I'm real. I'm down to earth. I'm in tune. But when I hear things like this and I see people supporting him or supporting his behavior and what he does, it's disturbing to me. It lets me know this generation is so lost, man. It's so lost. So do know this. This is the last days. It's the last days. It's the last days. Things are out of control. People are running wild and doing some wild things out here. They're not accountable. They don't care about the behavior. They don't care what they do to offend people, how they hurt people. He's bitter because he doesn't have any family. His mom is dead, father's dead. Like, he doesn't have nothing. So somebody in his shoes has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose. The damage he does not reflect on anybody in his life. Because what I want you to understand is this. Everything we do affects people around us that we are connected to. I want you to always remember that. It's not just the behavior that you display that is going to harm yourself. If it's negative behavior, it harms and affects people that you're connected to. You understand what I'm saying? If you do some crazy behavior, it might affect your brother, sister, your mother, your father, your children, your grandparent. Whatever you do, it's going to affect whoever's connected to you if it's negative. Facts. Facts. So just that's why the importance of doing things and not causing such a heavy offense to somebody else while you're doing it. That's why it's important not to do that. You feel me? So, boy. I just want to shed some light, man. I just want to shed a little bit of light on this. Hey, I want to say peace to everybody. There's so many people that I come in contact on a daily basis. You know, some people that I've talked to, that I've worked around on my comings and goings. I mean, there's people that, you know, have enlightened my journey in life. Where maybe they have said something encouraging, or maybe they have, you know, just dialogue with me on a level. Hey, man, peace to all of you, man. Peace to everybody. Your sweet place. What's good, man? I appreciate you. Yeah. So there's many of people that have an impact or said things or encouraged me along the way. There have been people that have done that. You feel me? And what I can say is this. Not everything that everybody says I let affect me. Because there's some things that don't deserve the attention. See, this generation is attention-seeking generation. There's people that are seeking so much attention out here, man. You feel me? There's people out here that they are seeking so much attention. They're attention seekers. And this YouTube have allowed people to get their attention they've been looking for. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the dangers that occurs out here. That's why today's movement and today's generation is so dangerous, because they're willing to do anything to seek that attention. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how far they're willing to go to seek that attention. It's very dangerous. So we got to be careful. You feel me? True that. They'll do anything for that attention. They'll make a fool out of themselves, and then when you as the outsider come in and comment or say something about the foolish things, they'll get mad because you're saying or pointing out the foolish things they did. How crazy is that for you to get mad at something somebody else says or does? How you gonna get mad when you display it before the world? This crazy madness in the way you move and maneuver out there. How you gonna get mad? He's mad at Pharaoh and all these other individuals that point out everything that he speaks about when he displays it, when he puts it out there for the whole world to see. How you gonna get mad? You can't get mad. Because if you didn't want nobody to comment on it, keep it in your household, or keep it in your jungle, or in your tent, whatever. You understand? Stop putting it out there for people to comment on. If it offends you, keep it in your mental. Stop displaying it. That's right. And I'm telling you, it's getting worse, man. It's getting worse out here. And I don't understand how people fall and flock to this madness. But for some reason, they're resonating with this stuff, man. And it's crazy to me how people would be drawn and resonate and connect with this crazy madness. It's got to stop. It's got to stop, man. It's got to stop. But I tip my hats off to those who put the work in. I tip my hat off to YP Young Pharaoh. I tip my hat off to Ashe Divine. I tip my hat off to people who are putting work into to exposing, you understand, this type of behavior. Okay? Whatever their methods are, whatever the way they're doing it, I can't judge them because it's offensive to them. So, okay, obviously they want to, you know what I mean? They want to expose that. So maybe somebody else won't be held victim to the things he's doing and saying. You understand? It's crazy. And me, myself, sometimes it gets so crazy that you gotta withdraw from this. Too much YouTube is terrible. Sometimes you gotta withdraw from the madness. Because we already go through things in our personal life. We already go through things on our jobs, whoever those who work, or if you stay at home, we go through so much that it gets overwhelming when you start adding and allowing other things to mess with your mental. It gets overwhelming at times. So sometimes you got to sit back and you got to allow yourself, you know, to withdraw from some of that. You understand what I'm saying? We got to protect our children. We got to protect our families. We gotta do more when it comes to reaching out. I'm just a small person on a totem pole, but at least I'm willing to expose and get it out there that be aware of false teachers, like the Bible talks about. They'll come disguised as sheep in wolf clothing. They will disguise as being good when they're evil. You got to be aware of these people that will easily attach themselves only to impute evil. Be aware. Do whatever you got to do to distance yourself. You understand? Withdraw from these type of individuals. Don't let these evil people into your mind, your heart. Don't let them into your circle. Because one thing that will happen, it will start to affect you. It will affect you. It will affect your mind, your heart, your psyche. If you let that evil connection get in there. Withdraw yourself, man. Pull away from that madness. People like him should be, man, they should be locked up and the key thrown away. Because if you watch some of his videos and you have been up in tune with some of the things he say and do, you can clearly see, if you got a right mind, you can clearly see that dude has some issues, and it's very disturbing to just hear some of the things he say. He believes what he says. He's just trying to convince you to believe what he says. But I have enough intellect, I have enough awareness of God in me to know that what you're saying is Antichrist, is diabolical, and is dangerous. He's a dangerous individual. You feel me? We have to start addressing the hidden reasons why people have a lot of their compassions, like perceptions, chemicals like lithium being sprayed and fluoride in the tap water, which is true. It is a good start. And I think Divergent, I think that a lot of that needs to be pointed out. I'm going to do some research on, the fluoride, and I'm going to do some more research on chemtrails and, and things like that to get more awareness of it. I know a little bit, but in order for me to just share that with y'all, I want to be well-rounded, abrupt about it. I don't just want to get on here and give a little bit and not have a full understanding. I do know that possibly the government has a lot that they're doing to try to, you know, detour us and to, you know, keep us mentally bound when it comes to fluoride, chemtrails, like all of that. I do know is devices to hinder us and to hinder our growth and to hinder us coming into any type of knowledge. All of that, I have awareness of that, but we got to understand the agenda and the attack. It wouldn't be far-fetched for me to say that what this dude is doing is strictly coming from, you know, from the government. This is like some real agent being paid to do this. It seems like that's what it is, man. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? All right, no doubt, your sweet place, Agenda 21. I will. He was sexually abused. And this is why when people are sexually abused, there's healing that has to take place. Because not only does it mess with them, it messes with their psyche and it messes with their, you know, with their inner being. That's a spirit that when it comes to destroy you. That's why that is dangerous. That the homosexuality, you know, can be very dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? The spirit that attaches itself to the human being, it could be very, very dangerous. It could be very dangerous. There was said to be that the brother has HIV and he's spreading it. Now, one of the guys from his camp admitted openly that he has HIV and he was sleeping with people and spreading it. He openly admitted that. And he was a part of his camp for a couple of months. Couple of weeks, months. But see, that's the spirit that he took on. You understand? You take that type of spirit, that type of recklessness. I believe that. You right on that one. Children sex abuse is the #1 reason for substance abuse. I can agree. People that, innocence that have been taken from them, they deeply engulfed in trying to mask that pain with something else. Drinking, drugging, more sex abuse, more abuse. It's like they blame themselves and they take on the punishment. It's like they want to be abused. They want that pain to be taken away from them. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people are scared to talk about these things because, you know, it forces them to accept the naked truth about what happened to them. It's not your fault that if you was in your adolescence and got sexually abused, that's not your fault. You understand what I'm saying? If you was in your adolescence, it's not your fault that somebody took advantage of you. It's the people around you that wasn't paying close attention, that didn't care enough to shelter you enough, that these type of dangers wouldn't happen. Was loose with how they handled you and where they allowed you to go and who they allowed you to be around. That's who fault it is. But you got to be aware. This predator, he has a predator type spirit. He has convinced a few people to follow him. He has convinced people to be under his spell. He convinced a certain amount of people to buy in to what he's saying. And the most dangerous part is that these people really believe it. And it's sad. So I encourage you, man, anytime you have a chance to debunk, anytime you have a chance to debate, dispute, to denounce, whatever has that D in it, do it. You feel me? because it's getting wild, man, and it's sad that people have adopted this diabolical, wicked way of thinking and receiving information. Oh, yeah, I don't like him, but I like the information he gives. What a twisted way of seeing things, man. It's real twisted. I want to say peace to everybody. Don't get ready to end this live stream, man. I gotta go eat. Peace to everybody that, you know, came aboard. Thanks for your excuse me, your sweet place. Thanks for being in, you know, Divergent. Thanks for being, you know, a part of the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that stopped through just to say hey, just to watch in. Appreciate you. Man, y'all be careful out here, man. Be careful. Be very careful of who and how you allow people to enter into your psyche. I'm just one individual that's just shedding light amongst many people that have shed light about this brother and about him being a cancer out here. He's a cancer. He's a cancer. He's spreading, you know, cancerous ways of thinking and cancerous beliefs and all kind of madness. Be very careful. I want to say peace to everybody, man. Peace to my North Carolina family. Peace to my Baltimore family, Silver Spring family, Philadelphia family, Pennsylvania family. You know, everybody that I know that have shared where they live at and all that. Peace to all of y'all. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting. It's your boy Ace. You could have been anywhere doing anything, but I'm glad that you're here at this appointed time to be a part of this live stream. You understand? I'll be on doing some more things, and I'm not gonna, you know, badger and continue down this path exposing this brother. There's plenty of videos exposing who this dude is. But I just needed to share this because it's disturbing to me that somebody in our community or in the mix of our race doing this type of stuff. You feel me? Peace and love to all of you guys, man. It's been a pleasure being on this YouTube, just being able to share some of this. And if this video ever gets to him, hey, look, I've been through situations that you've been through, but I don't declare myself to be a god. Neither do I declare myself to be a divine great one. You understand what I'm saying? I don't take that roll on because we've been through problems. There's plenty of people on this earth that been through things, but you don't see people that claiming to be the divine Christ and all that. You need to be in a mental hospital, bro. That's where you need to be to get the right help you need. Period. So I say peace to all of you, man. This is your boy Ace from Ace Corner Talk. Continue to be great. Continue to be who God created you to be. You know, life will get better. You know what I'm saying? Life gets better. It does. Be your great self. Live in your greatness. Be great. Be great, y'all. Christ still has his crown, y'all. You feel me? The Bible says that Satan fell from heaven fast as lightning. Christ still has his crown, man. There's people that came for Christ's crown but was unable to take it. You understand what I'm saying? He still has his crown. He's the only and true #1 king. And can't nobody take his crown or take his place. Peace. I'm out.